time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the Blueprint newspaper. Naira crisis, anxiety as federal government states return to Supreme Court today. Emefiele says old notes no longer legal tender. APC governors kick. All right, you find all the details on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. We move now to Nigeria News Direct. Anxiety, as CBN says, no going back on Naira swap deadline. Governor Abiodun, others threaten to shut banks, rejecting old notes. All the details on the front page of Nigeria News Direct. To the First News newspaper now, old Naira notes. Emefiele defies Supreme Court, insists on February the 10th the deadline. As CBN says, old Naira notes no longer legal tender. Apex Banks' boss meets diplomatic community, explains policy. Falana blasts CBN for ignoring Supreme Court order. You find all the details on the front page of the First News newspaper. To the front page of this Nigerian newspaper now. Emefiele on the fire for insisting on February the 10th old notes deadline. It's wrong to flout Supreme Court order, says Falana. All right, all the details on the front page of this Nigeria newspaper. We move now to the front page of the Daily Trust. 10 days to go, no cash yet for elections. INEC speaking, says old notes no longer legal tender. Emefiele, Supreme Court hears suit on deadline today. No decision on old notes. Police take over CBN in Ondo as irate customers lay siege. All the details on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. To the Business Day now. Nigerians caught in politics of Naira redesign. Customers lament bank's rejection of old notes. Supreme Court hears case today. Details on the front page of the Business Day. To the Leadership newspaper. Election must hold in Southeast. Northern elders tell federal government. Afenifere warns against foisting interim government on Nigeria. To the front page of the Nature newspaper. Abuja road users groan as construction of highway bridges drags. Abuja road users groan as construction of highway bridges drags. Details on the front page of the Nature News newspaper. To the Punch newspaper now, Naira crisis worsens. Naira crisis worsens. Confusion over CBN silence on old notes legal tender status. POS agents, customers fume as protesters barricade road. Emefiele justifies Naira redesign, accuses politicians of mop-up. All the details on the front page of the Punch newspaper. To the Nation newspaper now, legal giants knock Emefiele for disrespecting Supreme Court. Legal giants knock Emefiele for disrespecting Supreme Court. And to the front page of the Daily Independent. Confusion, anger persists as Naira note swap crisis worsens. Confusion, anger persists as Naira note swap crisis worsens. February 10th deadline on old Naira note stands. Emefiele speaking. Protesters storm CBN in Ondo, demand banks to collect old notes. Ganduje to sanction banks, businesses that reject old notes. New Naira notes of CBN facing sabotage from 10 governors, CSOs speaking there. And finally, on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, banks risk run-on as citizens await Supreme Court's intervention. Banks risk run-on as citizens await Supreme Court's intervention. Sam, we are still going to speak about this Naira crisis, the politics of the Naira crisis, as the paper put it now. We see that some governors are saying that these banks would be sanctioned if they do not take these old notes. The Kano State governor, for instance, has said that he will revoke their license if they do not take this old notes. And we see that in some other states. What do you see happening side by side, what the central bank is still saying, and all of this happening?
You know that there are a number of states that have already taken federal government and to court.
Yes.
We have Ogun just joined them.
Yes, Ekiti.
We have Ondo, Ekiti. We have Zamfara. We have Kano. We have Kaduna. We have Kogi, and so on. The list is mounting. We're having, because of money, we're having a federalist crisis. And it's not just a federalist crisis, it's an intra-party rebellion that we're having. And it's not coming from the bottom. It's coming right at the top. So it's also, in a sense, an elite clash among those people who are supposed to hold the party. And this thing all came to the fore when Asiwaju said in Abeokuta, in what I call a Milo Contu, in which he said that there were saboteurs.
Fifth columnists.
And fifth columnists, who did not want him to win the election, and who foisted the fuel crisis, and who foisted the cash crisis. He said they even put ink on it. They put ink, said it in very funny language in Yoruba. They put ink. So, something like that. Those who understand Yoruba will understand how comical it is. They just pour ink on the money, and then they say you have new notes. So when he said that, the first uproar was, why will you be complaining? Why will you be complaining? But it was a fact everybody was looking at and nobody was talking about. And it is part of the tradition of what you call loyal opposition, where you belong to the same party, but for principle, you are saying what they are doing is not correct. And so you want to put their feet to the fire. So that's what he did. When he did that, it started gaining resonance with different people who started saying, look, what this man said is actually true. The people don't want to change this policy. Then El-Rufai came in and said it. But the first person that said it was actually Aisha Buhari, who said it years ago, that the people who were not there on Creation Day now want to be Christ and the apostles. That's what those are not our words, but that's what he said. Or in a street man's way, the baboons are coming to chop when the monkeys are finished walking. So that's what she was saying. Now these things are not coming to the fore. Now El-Rufai said they don't want those people, elements in Aso Rock don't want Asiwaju or APC to win the elections because they are working in cahoots with PDP. And you can see that neither PDP nor Labour Party is complaining.
It's a temporary inconvenience.
Yes, the Labour Party man said there's some inconvenience Nigerians should bear, and the PDP man says it's a little inconvenience. Maybe they don't understand English. Inconvenience is when I'm supposed to eat amala and gbegiri and put a lot of meat inside, but they give me, instead of eating 5 lumps of amala, they give me only 4. Then instead of giving me 5 pieces of meat, they give me only 3. Then that's what they call inconvenience. When you are hungry, it is not inconvenience, it is suffering. It is agony. Maybe they need to be told, Obi and Atiku need to be told that is what the meaning of those words are. And then you say it is inconvenience, which is wrong in itself, then you can't say it is little or some inconvenience. In other words, you don't need to complain. It's like I have to go and park my car. The way I'm supposed to park it is like 3 houses away, but I can't park it, I have to park it here. Then I will walk over 2 houses to get there. That is inconvenience. That is not suffering. It becomes suffering when there is rain and I'm wearing suit. I'm wearing real fine suit. And then if I walk 2 or 3, there's a splash of mud there, then I'll fall into the ditch. There's someone to come and drop me. That's no longer inconvenience.
Of course.
That's suffering.
Course.
So they need to know the meaning of this word. They don't know. So we're having a crisis right now of federalism. That's what we're having. And it's going to play out in court. Two, we also have a situation where the CBN governor is tone deaf. He's saying that we should not exaggerate what is going on.
I mean,
what does that mean? How
people
do I
can
exaggerate that I'm hungry?
I mean,
How do I exaggerate it? The CBN governor needs to go to school to understand English. He understands the mechanics of finance, but does not understand the soul of finance. Because you don't make money for money's sake. They teach them that in rudimentary economics. You don't make money for money's sake. The purpose of money is society. Just like the purpose of law is for society. The law is not made for law's sake. Human beings made the law for them. That's what they said. They always say the law is made for man and not man for the law. The Bible also says it. So that's what we have. We have a situation of extreme indifference to extreme suffering. If it's because of one man they are doing this, this man must be very big. That because of one man, they're having fantasies. They're having nightmares. Because of that, they want other people to suffer. As I said, Buhari needs a little child to come and meet him and say, Papa, people are suffering because of you. People are dying because of you.
People have died, yes.
People have already died because of you. He needs somebody to tell him that. He should not be going to campaign and laughing and holding people's hands. That's not what we want from him now. We want money. We want him to solve the problem on our hands. That's what we want.
Absolutely, because this could just degenerate into a security crisis that we do not want leading up to the elections as it stands.
It's tempting the civil society. It's tempting, what they are doing is tempting Nigerians. What they are doing is tempting the patience of people. And it is really to the credit of Nigerians that they have remained calm. And I wish and I hope that they remain calm because it seems that Nigerians know why what they are planning to do, that they want to create chaos, and they don't want to give them that satisfaction.
Right. We have already seen some level of security presence in some of the banks, CBN offices in one of the states, as it is being reported, because of irate youths, as it's been reported. And we've already seen pockets of protest across the state. We do hope that something happens within this week leading up to the elections, that Nigerians can actually access their monies, and this matter is laid to rest as quickly as possible.